Hey, this is Pamela Riemenschneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. Greg, I've been at the beach. What happened this week? I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I'm glad you've been at the beach this week. I think that's an excellent use of your time, and too bad we have to pull you in just to do our weekly report.
I'm working on my tan a little.
Yeah, that's impressive. One of the big stories is the strawberry hepatitis outbreak, but we don't really have much to add on that. It's been over for more than a month, and it only involves people who froze their strawberries, but it's made a lot of mainstream news. There are no
Yeah,
deaths associated with it. There are several dozen illnesses.
yeah. You know what? It's kind of interesting. I note that they are coming out with this outbreak news when it's over for more than a month. And the same thing last week with peaches at Berkshire, I think it was in Texas. And they were Chilean peaches and they were sold more than a month ago as well. I mean, this is only relevant for frozen news. So, I mean, it kind of makes me go, hey, FDA, what took so long to issue the outbreak? Because once it's just, if you froze it kind of thing, because I saw several people that obviously since it was at HEB, a lot of people that I'm related to here in town were like, oh, strawberries. And I was like, no, not strawberries. Calm down,
Organic
folks.
from more than a month ago.
Yeah, yeah. So why did it take so long to get this news out? Is what I want to know. And the outbreak after the fact kind of thing hurts all. I mean, it's peak strawberry season right now. Is that going to hurt strawberry sales? Are people concerned about this kind of stuff? So, I mean, kind of sucks that it came out so late. I'm just saying.
It does, but anecdotally, going to the local grocery stores, strawberries they look fantastic. They're at reasonable prices. I haven't seen any of that personally. Have you seen any of that at your grocery visits?
Not really. I've been in Florida, so I didn't really. I mean, I bought a lot of watermelon, so that's beach food for us. But I did come home and find strawberries in my fridge. So my husband stayed home and bought them. So he clearly wasn't affected by the strawberry recall from ATV.
Well, moving on to another story that we had, I think this is going to be the first of these stories. Like we saw, like around Thanksgiving, we saw making your Thanksgiving purchases cheaper, and highlighting that. Lidl came out with a story about dropping prices on 100 items to help consumers with inflation. I don't know if you saw that list. I think that's the sort of thing that is going to, um, like I wrote in my column in my presentation at Brandstorm, you have to show empathy with consumers with dealing with inflation. But I did notice the list among the 100 items on there, one category is rather left out.
I mean, I noticed that as well as I glanced at it before we started talking. I think the only produce adjacent thing that we've got is potato salad and Mandarin oranges in a can, which I detest, by the way.
Fried cherries too, they're on
Fried
there.
cherries, I guess. But I mean, where's the produce? Or is it because produce is already enough of a value with consumers? I don't know, but I did notice that the list has a lot of weird stuff like hummus and couscous and black bean burgers. But I mean, that's what I need in my life is a deal on black bean burgers. Because yeah. So
No, no bueno.
you know what this kind of looks like? It kind of looks like when you clean out your pantry. It's all the stuff that you bought on a whim and you haven't eaten yet.
Yeah,
Um,
that's when I tell the kids, I'm not going to the store until we eat the food we bought already.
yeah, we have
So
food at home. Oh, my
yeah.
kids, their least favorite phrase is we have food at home. And I actually wrote a column about that, about how we need to find a way to help reach consumers and how this food service thing, people are going to be dining out. They want to. There's so much demand, but they're going to be spending strategically on dining out. It's not going to be, hey, I'm too tired to cook lunch for the kids or whatever. Let's just grab some burgers for lunch. No, peanut butter and jelly sandwich is coming back to a lot of people's menus for this summer. So I think that we're going to see people trading out, trading down a little bit, or trading up and making it a special occasion and not just a casual everyday kind of thing where it's like, oh, we're too tired to cook. I don't want to cook anything. Let's just grab something quick. So retailers have a really big opportunity there to remind them, hey, we have quick food here as well. And also to remind consumers that just having cut fruit or cut veg in your kitchen and combining that with something easy like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a great lunch instead of getting a Happy Meal or whatever else you want out there at a restaurant. So yeah,
Now, you just came off a driving road trip. So did you really feel the gas prices and make it feel like the inflation was really hitting you?
I'm a special case because I drive a hybrid. And so gas prices for me, it doesn't really seem to, I was not affected at all by gas prices on my trip. I did not feel like I spent that much on gas. What I did feel like I spent a lot on was food. But we avoided going to drive-throughs as we were driving. And I actually went, before we left here in Texas, I went to HEB and Trader Joe's and picked up road trip snacks. And we ate those snacks. I had my husband cut carrots and vegetables and fruit, and we ate that out of a cooler rather than going to Buc-ee's and buying all the things. We still bought the banana pudding at Buc-ee's. I mean, some things are sacred on road trips for the Riemann Schneider family. But coming home, I went to Publix the night before we left, and I'm looking at the same kind of stuff that I would buy at HEB. And granted, I'm at the beach in Florida, so things are a little bit higher out there. But it was $4.99 for one of those little bags of sugar snap peas at Publix. And it was $4.99 a pound. And I don't know if the pricing strategy on red bell peppers is different or whatever, but at HEB, a red bell pepper for me seems cheaper because it's like 79 cents to $1.29 or something like by the each. But at Publix, it was $4.99 a pound. And I saw that and I got sticker shock. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. So my shopping trip for road trip snacks, I noticed very noticeable prices were a lot higher than I expected. And maybe I just chalked it up to being in Destin, Florida, rather than suburban Austin, Texas.
Well, that could be. As some people know, I did a road trip too to Indianapolis, and we noticed it more on gas price. Honestly, we rented a minivan and it got okay mileage, but we spent as much on gas as we did on the car, and that's usually not the case. And food, I actually felt like it was pretty reasonable. Maybe it's because it's in the Midwest as opposed to a beach town. So
yeah, I mean,
we felt it one way or another. It's just
yeah.
we felt it different ways, but it definitely, I noticed a difference from last year, no question.
And for me, also, the way that I buy gas when I travel is every time my kids need to stop, go to the bathroom, I go ahead and fill up the tank. And so I'm not filling up the whole way, but for my car, that's usually less than $50, even at $4 a gallon. So for me, it's not that huge $90, $100 sticker shock that a lot of people with bigger gas tanks are feeling. But the $4.99 for a bag of sugar snap peas, I left those there and went with the broccoli and carrots instead. But for us, the food thing I did notice was a lot higher than I expected as far as road trip snacks go. So I think it's going to affect a lot of people when they're planning these road trips. And I think it's going to affect their plans to do airfare as well, because I had to fly my son home and it was not cheap to buy that plane ticket to get him home. And so plane tickets plus rental cars is going to put a damper on things. And I think more people will be driving.
I think so too.
All right, well, that's it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. You are missing the Produce Reporter twice a day. You need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up.